welcome back. So today we have a manga haul, as you've guessed from the title, and this is my manga haul for August, and I say it every month that I'm not going to buy any more stuff, but again this month, you know, things happened. I bought more manga, of course, and yeah, I just wanted to quickly say thanks to everyone who subscribed so far. And if you haven't already, please be sure to hit that subscribe button and hit that like button because it all does so much for the channel. So yeah, I really hope you enjoy this content and I'll catch you next time. So first up in this manga haul, we have One Punch Man volume 14 and 15. So this is one of my favourite comedy series at the moment. I really love it. I really like the back covers actually. They're particularly really nice. You kind of get just a big load of text, but they've sort of chunked it in at the bottom, and then instead you get a lot of nice art on the back as well as the front. So a lot of the stuff you're going to see here today I got pre-owned, either through eBay or a site called World of Books. For that reason, it's all differing in quality. World of Books is really good because it's very cheap, so you can get a lot of volumes pre-owned, but then add on an extra kind of 3 for 2 deal. So I think in total, like, these cost me like £3 each, which I thought was really cheap. And yeah, One Punch Man, just fantastic artwork, really great. I don't understand why people say it slips off after a certain point. I still really love it. It's still one of my favorites at the minute. And yeah, I can't wait to read those. So next we have My Love Story volumes 1 and 2. And if you haven't checked out my Not Just For Girls video, then I will leave a link somewhere in this video where I actually review My Love Story. So this is a romance shoujo, but it's actually really funny. The main character is not your typical kind of love interest. He's actually relatively weird looking and quite funny. And yeah, there's just some fantastic comedy in this series. And it's definitely something that I'm going to continue to pick up because also I hear it's relatively short. So I'm quite a sucker for things like that where it doesn't take too much of my time, it doesn't take too much of my money, most importantly, but it seems like a very worthwhile story so far. So next up we have a classic in the form of Parasite 7 and 8. The anime didn't really do it too much for me, but I actually really love the manga, and these are the last 2 volumes that I needed to complete the collection. So they're a little bit matte to finish from Kodansha, which seems to be their thing. But if you don't know about Parasite, it's about kind of these like aliens that will eat people, basically. That's the easiest way to sum it up. But our main character actually has one of them living within his body, and it's all about him kind of and his trials and tribulations and whatever. But it's a very fantastic kind of horror, I would say. If you're not a big fan of like things that are kind of a little bit gross, to do with like body, you know, bodies turning into strange, creepy things, then I don't think it's for you. And it's a little bit sort of gross in parts, so if you're a bit squeamish, then maybe this isn't your thing, but I really love stuff like this, and this was a no-brainer for me to pick up, especially because I got them pre-owned again, and I got them at a very cheap price. So next is one of my long-running favourite series, and that's Dora Hadar. So we got volume 19, volume 20, volume 21, and volume 22, and this is all that's published at the moment. So 23 I think is the last volume of Dora Hadar, and man, these like covers just get better and better. I think 19 is my favorite. I really like kind of bright things, and the color of this just really stood out to me. But if you haven't read it, I talk about it a lot on the channel. It's a very unique story about like wizards and magic, and it's very violent, so I'm not going to open these actually, but yeah, if you really like an action-packed story, our main character is called Cayman, and he's basically been turned into like a giant lizard, and he needs to find out what wizard kind of did that to him. And he goes on a bit of a rampage, and it gets very, very gory, and of course I loved it. So yeah, it's very awesome, it's a very unique series, and because it's going to finish at volume 23, again, quite short, so definitely worth your time if you haven't checked it out already. Next up, if you follow me on Instagram, you will see that I absolutely love this series, and that is Happiness by Shuzo Ashimi. So we got volume 7, volume 8, and volume 9. And this is a vampire series, but it's not your typical sort of Twilight series at all. It's again very violent, it's pretty gross in parts. I'm not even going to open this because God knows what it will sort of come out showing you, but the covers are absolutely beautiful. The art is probably some of my favourite in all of manga. The artist just has a really great way of portraying things. There's a particular scene, I think it's in volume 8, that's a bit of a memory, and it's drawn in this sketchy style to represent the person's memories, and I just thought that that was the most genius thing I've ever seen. I actually got the first 6 volumes a while back. I don't know if you remember, but I actually, tore through those in about an hour or an hour and a half. I think I put on Twitter. It was like the craziest thing. It's the quickest that I think I've ever read any set of books in my life. So of course I got these, and within 40 minutes they were gone. And I found out the other day that volume 10 is actually the last one. So I don't really know how it's going to wrap up, but so far it's just been absolutely amazing. And from the amount of hype that people give Shuzo Ashimi, I think, they've just done a fantastic job with Happiness. So if you like The Flowers of Evil, which is also a work by them, then you should 100% check this out, because it's probably one of my favourite manga at the moment. Another series by my favourite author of all time, and that is Dead Demons Destruction. I never get tired of saying that. And we have volume 4, 5, and 6. Now the covers of these are absolutely gorgeous, and I regret to say that I haven't read this yet, so I've been waiting to get enough volumes of this to truly binge. I really love these signature editions. They're some of my favourites, and I don't know a whole lot about the series. I know that it's about aliens, but of course with Asano, it's going to be a lot more to it than that. But I had to pick these up because Goodnight Punpun is one of my favourite series ever. So, and I hear good things about this. So we will see. There might be a review coming for these very, very soon. So keep your eyes on this space. And yeah, that is Dead Demons Destruction. Okay, so next, another series in the Not Just for Girls series, and that's Yona of the Dawn Volume 2. There's not a lot else that I really want to say about this series, and if you haven't checked out my previous video where I review this series, then definitely go and do that. But it's fantastic. It's just really great artwork. I really love the main character Hack, and because it's on the cover, I'm excited to see where this goes. And yeah, just another fantastic read. So that's Yona of the Dawn Volume 2. Next, my probably least favourite Shonen Jump series at the moment, but I got it very cheap, and I want to know what's with the guy, who has the hands all over his face, and that is My Hero Academia Volume 10. So I'm very far behind. I think we're on Volume 20 at the moment. But again, I got the 3 for 2 deal, so I essentially got this volume for free. So I'm still plodding along with this. It's not my favourite. Black Clover is, in my opinion, so much better. There's so much more to it, but we will give it the benefit of the doubt. And I really want to know a little bit more about the villains. And hey, he's in there, so let's see how we get on with this. Okay, so next, if you've been following my channel for a while, then you will know that I absolutely love this series, and that is Cardcaptor Sakura. So I got the 4th volume in the Clear Card series, so this is actually a sequel to the original Cardcaptor Sakura. It's drawn by Clamp, and it's absolutely amazing artwork. I love this series. I loved the TV series growing up. I mean, so far, I'm not really enjoying the Clear Card kind of saga as much as the original one, but I can't complain. It's more card captors, and yeah, that's volume 4. So really nice cover, and I will definitely continue picking this up. Okay, so next we have Tagami Bachi volume 6 and volume 7. I'm very far behind with this. Obviously, I'm slowly but surely kind of picking these up, trying to get them as cheap as possible. Hopefully they don't go out of print, because I feel like if they haven't already, they will soon. It's not a very well-known shonen title, but it's a fantastic one, so I don't really want to say too much about it. I might do a review on it when I've read a little bit more, but these covers are so beautiful. The character designs, although they look a little bit childish and, you know, the same, some of them, like she looks very similar to our main character in my opinion, but the art is actually really, you know, awesome in this series, and it's definitely not what I was expecting. So if you haven't checked it out, that is Tagami Bachi. Okay, so second to last, I got a sweet deal on these, and that is Haikyuu. So I got volume 1, volume 2, volume 3, volume 4, volume 5, and volume 6. Now this is, as you can tell, a volleyball manga. I do not read sports manga, but I have seen some of the anime of this, and I really enjoyed it, so I thought I would give it a try. And so far, I'm 2 volumes in, and I really love it. I think, you know, the art style is fantastic. I think the way that they kind of make the characters, you know, move while they're playing is just amazing. And, you know, it's actually a lot more depth to it. I feel like with sports manga, I was expecting just a lot of, you know, sports, I guess, but there's more to it than that. There's more character development, there's more character relationships, and I really love it. I think the only downside to this was that volume 6 came hugely damaged. I don't even know if you can see, but I've actually sellotaped all of this because pretty much most of the back page was bent. As you can see, it's pretty damaged, and it was pretty much ripped off here. Now, I did complain to World of Books, and they gave me a full refund, so I got volume 6 for free, and I've taped it up and I can make my peace with it. Perhaps in the future, if this becomes one of my favourites and I collect it all, I will go back and rebuy volume 6, but for now I'm quite happy with that. And yes, I will continue to collect this series because I just think it's really great. So if you haven't checked it out already, I definitely recommend it. Maybe, you know, as if you want to try what I've done, this is my first sports manga. This is a really great choice in my opinion. I also hear that Slam Dunk is probably a bit better, presumably because the artist is one of my favorites, and I really wanted to pick that up as well. So who knows, I might get that later on in the future. But yeah, Haikyuu, fantastic series. Please go and read it. Okay, so last but not least, I got an absolutely amazing deal on eBay last month on one of the series that I've been wanting to collect for a very long time. So it's Noragami. So I got volume 1, volume 2, volume 3, volume 4, and these covers are just absolutely amazing. Again, Kodansha with the matte finish, volume 5. And I just particularly love the character designs. I think they all look very unique and interesting. I've got volume 7. I'm gonna have to push some of these out of the way. Volume 8, volume 9, volume 10, volume 11, and then we got volume 12, and as I said, I got this on eBay. It was a lot deal, very cheap. Volume 13, volume 14, volume 15, and then I got this as well, which is volume 1 of Stray Stories, which is kind of a side story manga as well. So Yeah, absolutely amazing series. I'm so glad to own it. You probably noticed it in the background of a lot of my videos because I've sort of put it right in the center of all my shelves, taking pride of place. Just a fantastic, fantastic series. I have read some of it and I really love it so far. And I've watched both seasons of the anime, so I'm sure that a lot of the first volumes will cover that. And if you haven't checked that out, then I definitely would. The anime is really, really great. So yeah, that is it for this month's manga haul. I really hope you've enjoyed this video. As I say, because I've got so much, I am not planning on getting much more again next month, but you know, I say this every month, and then every month I find something amazingly, you know, on an eBay deal or something, and here we are again. So if you've enjoyed this video, please hit the like button, and if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button, and thank you so much for watching. Peace.